I've got to be honest and admit that I'm guilty of viewing him through a lens that discounts him. But I remember the night I heard some kid at Chino Hills scored 92 in a game, then I saw the video. Oh, he's a 130-pound high school sophomore who cherry picks, doesn't guard anyone, and shoots 40-footers like they're a good idea. Okay, great.
Ladies and gentlemen, we don't even know if they can play Division I basketball.
But hey, he's got a lot of Instagram followers.
Melo is going to be, watch me dance again.
Okay.
#1 pick 2020.
LaMelo.
He's that good. He's that good. I can't wait for a team to say, you know what? I ain't going to pick a 6'8" point guard who's young, who put people in the seats. I'm not going to pick him #1.
LaVar.
I guarantee you do, because he that dude.
He's going #1 overall.
That dude, #1.
LaVar, let me ask you this before we go, because I know you're really excited about New Orleans.
If you've been following LaMelo Ball for his career, you know it's been one hell of a ride. I mean, from his freshman year, from being known as the short little brother to Lonzo, to then in his sophomore year, being ranked as one of the top point guards in his class. But it all went downhill because of one event that took place. This LaAngelo event led LaMelo's career into a spiral as LaVar pulled him out of high school and sent him away to Lithuania. It was a failed test. LaMelo never really got much playing time, and it seemed like it was all a waste. Fast forward, and LaMelo was playing in the JBA, a league created by his father. Unfortunately, the league had no competition, and LaMelo was putting up insane numbers. At this point, things weren't looking as promising for LaMelo as we once thought. Or is it? LaMelo Ball is a special talent. He was so skinny and short, and yet at only the age of 14, he was able to easily keep up the pace against real varsity basketball talent, and he greatly helped his team win a state championship. Granted, everybody just wanted to see Lonzo play, but they were all taking notice of his little brother that was somehow still dominating the competition at such a young age. There was not a single person that wasn't wondering what this kid was gonna be like when he's older. And next year, LaMelo lit the world on fire, putting up 92 points in one game and became an internet superstar overnight. He was lighting up to competition, leading his team to an outstanding record of 30-3 while averaging 28, 4 and 10. LaMelo was the real deal, and nobody was doubting it. He was ranked 13th overall on most recruiting websites and verbally committed to UCLA. He was literally on top of the world. Then it happened. His brother stole from a Louis Vuitton store while UCLA was visiting China, and LaAngelo was suspended for this, and because of this event, and for disputes with the coach, LaVar announced that LaMelo will never play for UCLA and pulled him out of high school to send him to Lithuania. Well, it all seemed like a great idea at first. LaMelo and LaAngelo were going to play against real pros, but neither of them really got much playing time, and it ultimately was a failed experiment. LaVar pulled his sons back to Los Angeles, and he had another grand idea: to create a league as an alternative to college, where players would actually get paid, but in the end, nobody was really getting paid. And the league never really gained enough traction as there was literally no competition. I mean, look at the numbers LaMelo was putting up. This is basically a 5-star recruit. How is he playing in this league? And it's not hard to believe he was putting up these types of numbers, since just look at the games. Where in the world is the defense? At this point, NBA scouts were starting to worry because of all the antics, and LaMelo almost completely fell out of the NBA conversation, and everybody was blaming LaVar for it. But finally, LaMelo built up the courage to make his own decision for once, and told LaVar that he was returning to high school for his senior year at Spire. He led his team to a near perfect record, going 17-2, but some people still had doubts. and thought he wasn't even the best player on his team, saying 4-star recruit Rocket Watts and 5-star recruit Isaiah Jackson were better than him. However, I completely disagree. While both these players are good, LaMelo was just more of a complete player. For example, LaMelo was now 6'7", and with his weight growing with his height, he also put on a little bit of muscle. And while he still has long ways to go muscle-wise, his passing vision was elite. LaMelo often throws full-court passes with pinpoint accuracy and averaged 9 assists during the season. He is an elite rebounder, averaging 9 rebounds per game. He consistently fought for rebounds, and his 6'7" build helps him in that regard. LaMelo is also very agile. Most of his offensive game comes from being able to shift defenders and being unpredictable when changing direction. He also is surprisingly great at reading passing lanes, as LaMelo was the only one of his teammates who was even able to get double-digit total steals, and he was literally head and heels above everyone in that category. He's also an elite scorer, averaging 22 points a game. So yes, finally, LaMelo was averaging 22 points, 9 assists, and 9 rebounds during his senior year. And with all of that, it's easy to say that LaMelo was just more of a complete player than his teammates. Scouts were starting to take notice at this point and reinserted him into the high school rankings, but they still weren't that convinced of him being a lottery pick, as he was nationally ranked at around 20 plus on most recruiting rankings. Given that's still great, for a player of LaMelo's caliber, it's not what you're expecting. LaMelo made the big decision to forego college and join the NBL, the Professional Australian and New Zealand Basketball League. It wasn't a hard decision since he only had one offer from a low-level D1 college team, but the biggest reason behind him having almost no offers was the fact that his eligibility was in question. But now he's playing against grown men, and even some former NBA players. His teammates Aaron Brooks and Josh Boone both played in the NBA for some time. And since joining the Hawks, LaMelo has been kind of under the radar. Head coach of the Hawks had this to say about him: he's exceeded expectations, he's come with absolutely zero baggage, he's assimilated into his teammates, and they genuinely like having him around. His willingness to share the ball, his willingness to pass, that's fun to be around, and that's fun to play with. I've gotten good feedback that this is the happiest people have seen him in a while. I haven't heard from LeVar, so we must be doing something right. LaMelo acknowledged a need to reverse some of the negative perception NBA teams have about him, stemming from his rocky stop in Lithuania and the off-court drama surrounding him and his family in recent years. So it seems like LaMelo has really matured some and is completely focused on his career. And this is surprising, considering it's LaMelo. Just a few days ago from this video, the preseason started in the NBL, and 27 NBA scouts came out to watch LaMelo play against some of the best competition the NBL has to offer, and he really balled out. This is what one NBA scout had to say about him: LaMelo plays with incredible pace. He's never sped up, he's never rattled by anything that's thrown at him. You're expecting something magical to happen every time he has the ball. He sees everything, he can make every pass with either hand off a live dribble. His style of play is tailor-made for the NBA game, especially if you surround him with shooting and better finishers. And finally, after 3 games of continued success in only the preseason, an NBA executive came out and said this: "If he keeps this up, I don't see any way LaMelo isn't in the conversation for the #1 overall pick." After being the #3 pick, fast forward 5 years later, having 1 All-Star appearance and a few injury-riddled seasons, LaMelo is on top, proving everybody wrong. He's averaging 30 points a game this season, leading the Charlotte Hornets. He's been doing it all this year and has undoubtedly proved all his haters wrong. He's definitely got another All-Star this year and many more to come.
Fancy dribbling, PJ. LaMelo. How did he do that? Most guys would have had vertigo.
Good number, that pass though broken up. Sexton tried to find Jetty Osmond. Ball underneath. Puts it in.
Wow. It's so. And pass. That's steal number 4 for LaMelo. LaMelo! Give the assist to Rozier. Trying the left hand.
He shot the first so quick, I'm not sure he saw the rim.
LaMelo! Beautiful! Creating something out of nothing. Bouncing through a beautiful pass to Devontae. Oh, my goodness! Didn't see that coming! Diddly-dee!
Yeah.
Minutes into the game to be down by double figures and ahead by double figures is amazing. Oh, yeah! Miles Bridges! What a dive by LaMelo! Comes LaMelo Ball with his hair on fire. Miles! Wow! And LaMelo, great anticipation. 2-on-1. LaMelo! What a fast break run by the Hornets.
The anticipation of LaMelo to know that the offensive guy was going to throw that ball to
LaMelo. Wow! A dipsy-do and the finish with the left hand.
changed it from.
Dragic left some meat on the bone. Here we go. Hornets have a chance. Get in there. Yes! LaMelo found Rozier 80 feet away.
Dumps it to Biombo. LaMelo Ball rifles it inside, and Jalen McDaniels is able to score.
The other thing that's impressive, like literally everyone for the Pacers who's played has played well, as Bridges gets lost in translation there. Nice find by Ball.